Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk. This is the show where we talk all things Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And in today's video we'll be discussing a recent interview that had Beth Schwartz talking about little details regarding Arrow Season 7. So let's discuss. Now, Beth Schwartz is of course the new showrunner for Arrow going into Season 7. She is replacing Mark Guggenheim and Wendy Miracle, who were the previous showrunners for Arrow, and she has been getting quite a lot of praise from the cast members and also from fans in regards to her taking over the show and hopefully putting it in a good new direction going forward. And she was recently in an interview with a magazine where she was talking to them about different things regarding Arrow Season 7, giving little hints and little details as to what we could expect when Season 7 arrives in October. So the first part of this interview says, Ricardo is at large, uh-oh. For the first time, the show's big bad wasn't vanquished in the finale, which means the mobster is sticking around, and, per the showrunner, is furious about Oliver's attack on his gang. When we see him again, he is not going to be very happy. He'll definitely be out for blood, says Schwartz. Now, obviously we knew that Ricardo Diaz was coming back next season, we knew that Kirk Acevedo was coming back to reprise the role, and we knew that he was still pretty much at large given the fact that he was not killed off, which is a first for Arrow. Arrow doesn't usually kill off its big bads, or it usually does kill off its big bads, except for Slade Wilson in Season 2, who wasn't killed off. But Ricardo Diaz was left alive, which has made many of us excited who are fans of Ricardo Diaz. So yes, he's going to be out for blood, and he's going to be very angry about Oliver's attack on his gang, and also kind of knocking him off the top of the pile when it comes to Star City and its government. So he is going to be back with a vengeance, and that's pretty much what we knew. I mean, we kind of knew that Ricardo Diaz was going to be coming back with a vengeance, but I feel like, you know, what's not hinted at here is his connection to Black Siren and, you know, Laurel, and how their storyline are very much going to be connected in Season 7. But yeah, this is pretty much confirming what we already knew. So the next part reads, so maybe it's a good thing Oliver is behind bars for his vigilante crimes. Not so much. Prison isn't great for Oliver Queen. It's not going to go well, says Schwartz, teasing that we'll see some of the people that he's put in prison over the past 6 seasons. So once again, this is something that was officially confirmed in the Comic-Con synopsis, that Oliver is not going to be having a good time in prison, and he is going to be facing people who he's put away in the past. Now, obviously, I made a whole video about the type of villains he could be facing when we get to Slabside, but I feel like this is just, you know, Beth Schwartz kind of teasing the type of scenes we could be seeing when he's in prison in Season 7, and the fact that obviously he's not having a good time, well, I mean, what can you expect? I feel like the idea of him obviously being, you know, the typical kind of playboy billionaire, I know he's kind of not that anymore on Arrow, you know, he kind of, ever since he kind of lost his family fortune, he's never really been that, but, you know, he still has that reputation about him, and especially if he's facing villains who he put away in Season 1, Season 2 type thing, that's how they're going to see him, so I feel like it's going to be cool to kind of see that dynamic in prison with different villains. The next part reads, why wasn't Oliver sent to Iron Heights? Instead of doing time in the Arrowverse's go-to penitentiary, the unmasked good guy is behind bars in what Schwartz calls the brutal Slabside maximum security prison, adds Schwartz. We wanted to up the stakes and see a new prison that was filled with a little more dangerous type of people. So this is cool. Obviously, this was a question we all had, is why didn't he go to Iron Heights? You know, the prison that we're all familiar with, the one that we know, the one that's established within the Arrowverse, as opposed to Slabside, which was mentioned once in like a flashback scene in Arrow Season 4 or something. So why wasn't he sent there? Well, this basically just tells us that Slabside is basically even more dangerous than Iron Heights. Slabside is basically a, you know, as it says, it's a maximum security prison. This is one that basically the worst of the worst go to, and this is where they've thrown Oliver in, which I guess makes sense. I mean, Oliver has killed a lot of people over the years, but I feel like it's a really interesting situation to put us in this new prison. I think it's fresh, actually. I think I quite like the idea that we're going to a new prison instead of doing Iron Heights, because we've seen Iron Heights before, especially in The Flash last season, where we spent a lot of time in Iron Heights with Barry in prison. I feel like seeing Slabside is going to provide something new that we haven't seen before, and I'm down for that. And again, mixing Oliver with a little more dangerous type of people, that's very interesting, and I want to see how Oliver's going to deal with these people, because obviously he could pretty much take them all down pretty much instantly, so it's going to be cool to see maybe some conflict that he gets into when he arrives at Slabside. The next question is, how is Felicity handling the fact that her husband is locked up? Most likely with her usual pluck and resilience. Everyone on the team will be in a different place than you would expect when the show returns, says Schwartz. They are all going to have different reactions to Oliver being in prison and what their responsibilities are now. So Felicity is of course in a bit of a difficult situation going into Season 7, given the fact that her husband is locked up and she is now looking after William, who is, you know, kind of her stepson now. So she is having to look after him while also dealing with, you know, Team Arrow, and also dealing with still being the girl in the chair for Star City, and also dealing with the fact that she is now, working on this setup with Curtis for Helix Dynamics. I couldn't remember the name there. So Felicity, quite an interesting character going into Season 7. Obviously, we do hear based on the leaks that she's going to have her own season-long storyline, which is probably Helix Dynamics. But Schwartz does say that everyone's going to have different reactions to Oliver being in prison and what their responsibilities are now. So I imagine that mostly resolves to Team Arrow. Obviously, Diggle is going to feel like he is kind of the main guy. He's going to have to kind of, take the lead when it comes. He's going to have to take up Oliver's position. And then in terms of the rest of New Team Arrow, who knows? I mean, I feel like Renee is going to feel a bit more guilty about the entire situation. Curtis, sure. Dinah, I don't even know what Dinah's reaction is going to be. I mean, they kind of reconciled in the finale, but I don't know. But I feel like this is just going to tell us, each of the characters are going to be in different sort of places, and that's kind of what we expected. The next question is, Thea just left town with Roy, so how is Roy coming back without her? Schwartz promises viewers that we will learn very early on as to why the two aren't together. We'll also see Roy, aka the former vigilante Arsenal, being a hero in a different sort of way, she says. Now this is very interesting. Obviously I made a video about this a couple of days back about how is Roy actually returning to the show. So we are going to learn very early on why Roy is here back in Star City, but not Thea. So that's very good. I'm glad about that. Now, it does say why the two aren't together. I've seen a lot of people speculate, oh, have they broken up? I don't think that's the case. I feel like that's just the way she's worded it. I don't feel that's going to be particularly a big thing. I don't think Thea and Roy have split up. I just feel like there's a situation that's happened that has caused Roy and Thea to have to be separate, and in order to protect Thea, probably. So I feel like that's what it's going to be. Now, what is also interesting is it says, the former vigilante Arsenal being a hero in a different sort of way. So is Roy not coming back as a crime fighter? Is he just going to be a guy? I did speculate about this a while back. I was saying, he's had his name cleared. So, he's no longer on the run. He's no longer a criminal. So why would he jump back into the role of a vigilante when he's just had his name cleared? So I feel like this could be hinting at the fact that perhaps Roy is coming back as, coming back but not as Arsenal. I think that'd be quite interesting, and a different kind of route to take Roy, although I do find that hard to believe given the fact that he is a series regular, and given the character that he is. I feel like it would be, a bit weird and a bit of a disservice to his character, and also a disservice to the fans if we didn't see him suit up as a vigilante once again. But I'm really happy we got some words on that whole deal. The next question is, how will Lance's death impact Earth 2's Laurel? So, the demise of her father's Earth 1 counterpart is a huge story point going forward, Schwartz reveals. She will have to try and live up to the Laurel Lance legacy to make him proud, but her alter ego Black Siren has her craving vengeance. So this is what really excites me. I love Black Siren. I think she's a great character, especially I really grew to like her in Season 6. So, to see her kind of deciding that, yes, she's going to live up to the Earth 1 Laurel mantle. She's going to become the Laurel Lance that we all knew back in, like Season 4. She's going to become that in order to make Quentin proud. I love that. I feel like the Quentin Black Siren stuff in Season 6 was some of the best stuff about that season. So to see her continuing that on and making Quentin proud is something I'm very happy about. And obviously Black Siren, she's still Black Siren, and she's still a pretty messed up character. So she's still going to have that side of her that's going to want to crave vengeance. And again, this is going after Diaz. So that's very cool, very exciting, and that puts me at rest a little bit. And the final question is, can original Team Arrow and new Team Arrow please get along? Oliver, Felicity and Diggle spent much of the season battling disgruntled dropouts Dinah, Curtis and Renee. Fans were not about it, and the writers heard our sighs. Come fall, vows Schwartz. There is not going to be a divide. Thank the Lord above. I mean, even though, this kind of does disgruntle the leaks a little bit, because obviously Dinah, the thing about Dinah causing a divide again, but, I'm really happy that they're not going to be divided again. I mean, it seems like they all sort of came together by the end of Season 6 a little bit. So that's all good. And it seems like, it took something like Oliver having to go to prison for them in order to make them immune that's caused them to come back together. And like I said, I have a feeling that Felicity, she's still going to be working with the team. Diggle is most likely going to be leading the team as the Green Arrow. Obviously, he did have a suit at the end, so he will have the option to be the Green Arrow, and he'll be leading Dinah, Curtis and Renee, and looking after Star City while Oliver is in prison. So I'm really happy about that. I'm glad that they're not continuing on that conflict, because it was really the thing that dragged down Season 6. But what do you guys think about all these leaks? Tell me all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you happy about this? What do you think is going on in Season 7? And like I said, this is just confirming loads of different things and just giving us little hints and little nuggets to kind of go after before we get to Comic-Con this weekend. So, what do you guys think about all this? Tell me all your thoughts in the comment section down below. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. It will help me out a lot. And share this video with anyone and everyone you know who loves DC TV and get them to join the community. And as always, guys, please subscribe for your latest content on Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and Black Lightning. And with all that said, guys, hope to see you again in my next video.